am only snot. Just snot. Constantly. Never a clear nostril.
No clear nostrils in sight in this
Never.
house.
Nasal issues. And then I got a nose ring, and they made it so much better.
Oh god.
Just more things in my nose constantly.
Make the sniffles even better.
It's time to jingle your jangles and bingle your bangles. It's Kira.
How the fuck am I supposed to match that energy? Jesus. Okay, well, you got some lovely bones going on there. Mind if I take a little peek? Some lovely bones. Emily. Welcome to Gremlins by Nature. We're in a fucking mood today, folks.
It's Christmas!
It's Christmas! I put up a tree for the first time in 4 years, and the serotonin be flowing today, folks. My ADHD brain is wild.
We're all comfy. We're all cozy. We got the lights going.
Kira let me delay our recording by like a fucking hour because I started reorganizing my whole living room today. And I decided I wanted to also move my desk around before we started recording. And they were lovely enough to just vibe and wait for my brain to be okay with the look of my living room.
We needed the little bit of like dopamine that came with it.
We really
so,
did.
Like, not that we didn't get like enough dopamine from today.
Today was a good day, that's for sure.
It was.
We did some holiday spookum shopping.
Yeah, there was a local gothic market for Christmas, and it was amazing.
It was very lovely.
Got some lovely things.
Got some good old bones.
Yeah, we actually did purchase bones.
We did acquire some bones.
I now am a proud owner of several different bones.
I got some coyote teeth, which I actually am super pumped about.
I know. I got some mako shark teeth, and I also got a part of a fallow deer skull.
Ooh.
So I am very happy about that, because anyone that knows me in real life knows I very much love deer.
They like the bones and they like the deer.
Bones.
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 Bones. Well, bones is kind of fitting with today's topic, I guess. Okay, a little look behind the peek behind the curtains, behind a kimono, whatever that fucking saying is. But we were supposed to do a little research. Part the kimono, that's what it is. Not peek behind the kimono. Whoops. Anyway.
I have no idea what the fuck you're on about.
You've never heard that before?
I've heard peek behind the curtain, not part the kimono.
I could have that wrong, to be fair.
I mean, I like it. Anyway, continue.
It is what it is. So, behind the scenes look.
I can feel the chaos of this episode already.
Oh god, it's wild. Oh god, Kokomi.
And she found the D&D stuff. Our manager is currently tearing apart our living room.
You've demoted her.
Today, yes, she's been demoted.
I guess so.
Oh, tail twitchies.
Oh god.
And anyway,
So,
peek behind the curtain.
Peek behind the curtain from today. We purposely scheduled this episode the furthest, well, not the furthest, but further away when we were planning out December episodes because we knew we were going to have to do some research for it.
And guess what we didn't do? Well,
guess what Emily didn't do and Kira did last night? Research. We are so professional, folks. Thank you for listening and keeping us humble.
I'm going to preface this with, while I do know certain things about today's subject, I needed a little bit of a refresher because sometimes my brain tells me false things.
And I know jack shit.
You might be wondering, what is today about? Why have they been going on for 5 minutes about absolutely goddamn nothing?
I mean, you listen to us frequently, right? That's what we do all the time.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
Today, we're talking about paganism and just like general like witchy stuff that happens to correspond with the winter season.
Yeah. Because as you've probably picked up by now, if we were any form of religion, it would probably be pagan.
No, really?
Witches? In my neighborhood?
In my Christmas?
In my Christian holiday?
It's
almost
more
like-
likely than you think!
Yeah! Same brain. It's almost like that's where it began.
It's almost like that's the title of the episode. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're vibing today,
I'm
buddy. It's
trying
all
to
good.
not snort really bad.
No! I love it!
Okay,
I
okay.
love it. The attempt at professionalism is astonishing.
I'm just in a mood today.
Oh,
Y'all,
God.
you gotta have to deal with it.
Sorry, folks.
I'm being vocal today.
So, in other words, we love when Kira's vocal. It's amazing. I mean, that's kind of the point of this podcast, right? I don't want it to be just me talking.
Oh yeah, no, like I mean, I talk.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
say
definitely-
things.
Yes. Well, you're going to talk a lot in this episode because you're the
boy.
only one that did research. So this is going to be Kira teaches Emily about pagan holidays.
And I'm gonna do some learning along with it because I know some things but not a lot because I have only in the past couple years started to celebrate the winter solstice, not in like a full sense, but like I do partake in some activities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess,
I celebrate the summer solstice more than I do the winter solstice. But
yeah, I met our friend group through all of us being part of the same coven, and it's kind of fallen apart because
I was gonna say I'm not a part of the coven. She didn't mean me to that.
no, and like it was called a coven. It was just kind of like a group that we learned about things together, and like it was nice. And I do miss that aspect of like, you know, practicing with dealing with energies and like all that kind of stuff. So it is something that I would like to get back into the practice of in a bit of a sense.
Mhm.
So I know very minimal things about it, but this was a fun way of, even though I didn't do it, getting myself to research and learn about it. But also, disclaimer, we are not, like, there might be one or two topics that we actually talk about that we know enough about to say, like, we are teaching you about this.
Yes.
We are always open, as we try to reiterate as many times as possible. Like, if we say something wrong or if we get something wrong and you know the answer or you know how it should be, we love to learn. So tell us. So this is no way, shape, or form us teaching. This is kind of like, we're just going to learn together.
Yeah, and like in the grand scheme of just Wicca and paganism and all that, I would consider myself a fetus. Not even a baby, a actual fetus.
A fetus of a witch.
So like I am nowhere qualified to tell anybody how to do anything, and also like in your own practice of doing witchcraft or taking part in it, no one can really tell you what to do because it's all about your own path.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So like take everything I say and I'm about to say with a grain of salt. I'm just talking about Yule and the winter solstice and Saturnalia. That's all I'm doing.
Cool. Yeah. We are, as you can tell by, we forgot to even like put out social posts that our last episode went live. So like we are not professional folks.
No.
We're forgetful little gremlins that are just here to talk and have a good time.
I was gonna say this. I don't know where my brain went this week.
Oh my god, this week was like, I don't know if it's because I've been in class for work, but like I've been so spaced out. Like I went to bingo with my mom last night and I'm sitting there in a bingo hall with like 150 people that are all silent during a game, and I'm like, my brain was just like, nope, and I just kept like saying the dumbest shit. My mom's like, Emily, you need to stop. And I was not being quiet or respectful. But anyway,
Oh my god.
the gremlins are having a go this week apparently. Oh, our director's coming in for some notes. One moment, please. You have anything to say, ma'am? Kokomi's currently standing on my chest. Okay, now she's gone.
Okay. All right. Quite the opening to this lovely episode.
God, we're a disaster. Anyway, Kira, teach me about Yule.
Alrighty. So, I'm sorry, I need a second.
That's okay.
When whenever anyone like defers to me to like have a conversation of like expecting me to say something, instantly laugh attack. I no. Um, which is why I don't speak unless Emily usually starts speaking first. But okay. So Yule, also, known as like Yule or Yule, is a festival historically observed by Germanic peoples. So like the
Oh.
Vikings and stuff.
Cool.
And scholars have connected the original celebrations of Yule to the wild hunt, the god Odin, and the pagan Anglo-Saxon Modrant. I probably butchered that as always. The English translation is Mother's Night.
Ooh.
You also might know Yule as Yuletide or Yulefest,
Okay.
which, funnily enough, a lot of the time, Christmas tide is also called Yuletide.
Yuletide carols.
Yes.
Ah.
Are we making connections? Also, mini side tangent,
Yes. Go for
but
it.
it's still connected to the whole thing.
Gotcha.
Christmas. I grew up celebrating Christmas. Emily did too, I presume.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. So I don't know if a lot of y'all know this, but Christmas is very much taken a lot of ideas from Yule and the solstice and other pagan Christmas or wintertime holiday.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really say I'm surprised. but-
Because, the what is it called, the emancipation of Christianity, when it like came through, and like there was like the trying to like convert everyone to Christianity kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're like kind of like, hey pagans, I like what you're doing, but I don't like why you're doing it, so we're gonna
Really?
take it over kind of thing.
Motherfuckers.
But I mean that's how like a lot of holidays
Yeah,
go.
I guess. Yeah.
Or at least from my understanding. Again, quote me, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm sure Dorito Jones could probably tell me a bit more about it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We need to get Dorito Jones on this podcast ASAP.
Yeah,
Maybe-
Dorito Jones, tell me if I'm wrong about this.
Maybe New Year, we do our first guest episode.
Yes.
Cool.
So, where are we going with this? Oh, okay. During the Christianization, Yule was reformulated, whereupon the term Christmastide came to predominate in English. Some present-day Christmas customs and traditions, such as the Yule log, Yule goat, Yule boar, Yule singing, and many others, have connections to older pagan Yule traditions.
Well, I'll be damned.
I should have just read down before I went on my tangent, because that just told them I was right about something.
Woo!
I know a lot of things, but my brain scrambles them a lot of the time.
Hey, it's all good.
So, Yule is still a word used to describe, the Christmas season,
Okay.
winter season,
Mm-hmm.
and Yule is also synonymous with Christmas in a lot of different languages, like Scandinavian, Finnish, Estonian, and different winter holidays. By the way, there are millions of different holidays celebrated in the wintertime, and so just putting that out there.
Yeah, also, yeah, Christmas is nowhere near the main holiday. And I like,
I've always hated that, like, people kind of just assume it's the main not hate, but I'm like you gotta respect other people's.
yeah, like I remember the first time I learned about like Hanukkah and like even, I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, but Kwanzaa? Yeah, I was like, oh, that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Like, why is,
I only recently found out about Diwali, and I feel bad about that.
what's Diwali?
Give me a second. I gotta. Like I know what it is, but like,
But I just, yeah, exactly on that fact is like, Christmas, sure, it's what I grew up with and it's what I celebrate, but it's kind of the back and forth of people getting in that argument of like, you should say Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas. It's like, I have no offense, like I take no offense to it if I say Merry Christmas to somebody and they respond with Happy Kwanzaa. Like I celebrate Christmas, so I'm going to say Merry Christmas. Whatever you celebrate, cool. I do sometimes say Happy Holidays, just depending on the area or the vibe that I'm in, but like, I would take zero offense if I said Merry Christmas to you and you responded with like, oh, Happy Hanukkah, right? Like, if that's
Yeah.
what you celebrate, cool.
Yeah. And like I don't know if like Diwali is quite associated with like the like wintertime festivities, but it's basically India's biggest and most important holiday of the year. It's a festival of light that celebrates the triumph of light over darkness.
That's amazing.
I had to Google that. I'm gonna be completely honest. Coco, what are you doing, baby?
She's freaking out about the lights on the wall because she's a little dumbass.
But yeah, no, so
That sounds beautiful.
right? I was like, and to sit here and not acknowledge different holidays just because you grew up celebrating one, like I think we can all learn something from everyone's different traditions,
Oh,
and
100%.
I'd love to know more about all of them because
Mhm.
like again I know very little about Hanukkah, but like I know basics.
Mhm. Very basics.
Basics.
But like, yeah, no, it's just it's something that to call out our own ethnicity, it's something that white people are really fucking bad at. Not giving a shit about other people's holidays.
Yeah, again, you know, I've said it once already in this podcast, but you know,
Colonization is fucking dumb. But anyway, that's a whole nother episode we'll get into. Although I'm not a very political like my biggest political statement that I even maybe could say is just let people fucking live their lives.
yes.
Is if whatever you're doing, whatever you're celebrating, the way that you act, the way that you are, the way that you celebrate your religion, your culture, your whatever, unless it's physically harming yourself or other people, I couldn't give two shits.
Exactly.
Live your life, dude.
As long as you respect other people's decision to celebrate what they want to celebrate
Mhm.
and practice what they want to practice, you are fine.
Mm-hmm.
It is when you physically go out of your way to make someone feel uncomfortable about what they are doing
Mm-hmm.
or physically harming them is when I will start to speak up about it.
Oh, for sure.
All right. Now that we've got another tangent out of the way. Oh, I might have knocked something over.
That's okay. That's fine. It's probably Kokomi, let's be honest.
So, now that we have a little bit of Yule understanding underneath our belt,
Okay.
let's talk about some things that we do in Christmas time that is very, very Yule-esque.
I will admit, my Christmas traditions was watching The Sound of Music and drinking rum. So when it comes to like traditional Christmas holiday, like traditional, that I guess bunch of family, that's not me. That is not my fam. We had the Newfie tradition of watching a movie and drinking some beer.
Emily, I was talking about things like wreaths and Christmas trees.
I mean, okay, well, even that we did Christmas trees. That's about it.
I'm great. I love that. That's a tradition you have, though. I'm
Oh, hell yeah.
so glad. I'm so very glad.
That's my good old Christmas tradition.
Composure.
Composure.
I have none. So, I'm going to talk about Christmas trees for a second.
Okay, please do.
Okay. So, what we now know as the Christmas tree was originally put, like, pagans in Europe would typically bring evergreen fir branches into their home to decorate and brighten their spirits during the winter solstice. And it kind of, the evergreen tree kind of like because it doesn't die off in the winter,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of shows like the will to like continue on and move on to the new season.
Okay.
And it's almost like a sign of like rebirth.
Gotcha.
So to bring that into your home is bringing in that energy of
Oh.
so, and you would decorate these boughs and with whatever,
Mhm.
like berries, pine cones, shiny objects of Yasin.
Cool.
And so that's what the Christmas tree is kind of, and also with like wreaths too. They kind of have like the same like dual meaning kind of thing.
Okay.
The Romans would also use the evergreens to decorate their temples in the festival of Saturnalia, which is more akin to actual Christmas in a sense,
Okay.
because there are like differences obviously, because it was still a day of worship of of the Roman god Saturn,
Oh.
but it had different, and there was gift giving during that as well.
Okay, cool.
Fun time.
Fun time, yeah.
And Egyptians would use green palm leaves and rushes like that and bring them in and worship the sun god Ra, because the sun, we want the sun to come back.
Right, because it's that time of year where the days
Yes.
start getting longer again.
Yes.
Which
It all comes down to the solstice.
Yes.
It always comes to the solstice.
It always comes down to the solstice.
So another thing that I never really grew up with, mainly because our fire or our like wood stove was like in the basement,
Mm-hmm.
is like the whole like Yule log thing.
Yeah, I never knew a Yule log was a thing until like I started hanging out with the witchy crew and like learned about it there.
Yeah.
Never knew that was a thing. I think it's cute. If I didn't have cats that would 100% jump on that log on fire,
Oh god. Yeah.
I would do Yule log.
Also, like, I can like see like trying to like put like a Yule log in like the wood furnace, but I'm like, that would be terrifying.
I have a fake little one that's on right now. That could be my Yule log.
You could. If you put some essential oils on, I can make you a little simmer pot. So.
Please, that'd be so cute. Hell yeah.
Wait, speaking of simmer pots,
Hey!
segue. We love it. So, simmer pots are also a general thing to like bring in prosperity, health, wellness for like the year kind of thing. And you can do them like any time of year, obviously, but a lot of the time they are done in the winter season. Specifically like when they like get like orange peels
Oh,
and like the
okay.
dried oranges.
Right.
Oranges have like a lot of like prosperity to them. And
Cool.
also when you look throughout history and like, you go through the world wars and stuff, and like
Mhm.
the scarcity of oranges and stuff, to get one for Christmas was actually a big deal, which is why some days, usually like when you go and visit Santa, or at least
Mhm.
when I was a child, he would give you a candy cane and an orange or a clementine.
Oh. Cool.
Again, secretly witchy things that you didn't think.
I never really went to go visit Santa because he always creeped me out.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Pardon me, I have to go get rid of our director because she's fucking with my shit on my desk.
Yeah. So, just like in general, Yule is a lot more tied to the idea of Christmas than people tend to believe. And I find it kind of interesting how closely intertwined they are. You know, 'cause
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not good at talking. Also, my
Honey,
brain-
we're almost at episode 10. You're good at talking.
we're almost at episode 10.
This will be episode 6. But that's not including 2 bonus episodes we've done. A bonus episode,
We're supposed to record another
Halloween bonus episode that we've released so far. Hey.
Oh, I guess I think it's like the overthinking thing.
My
like,
one goal of this podcast is to get you comfortable speaking because you have a lot of cool shit to say and you deserve to say it. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to be aggressively sentimental towards you.
No,
Yes.
nor my weakness.
No.
Nor
Nor.
nor nor my
Nor.
accent.
Nor my accent. Oh, lordy.
So let's get a little bit like into Saturnalia, because
Yes, please. This sounds cool.
First of
I
all,
mean, it all sounds cool.
I
But
mean, I think it's really cool. First of all, you know how like there's like the whole like saying like, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
Saturnalia has a salutation as well.
salutations.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it's your Saturnalia, but not
Oh.
Sa-
I thought I just unplugged my mic. We're
Oh.
good.
So you walk up to someone, you'd be like, your Saturnalia.
It sounds like a ditty.
I probably kind of started to sing that. That's so the I had festivities here somewhere.
Festivities.
So I suppose I should actually just like start with like reading what Saturnalia properly is.
Sure.
Saturnalia is the ancient Roman festival and holiday in honor of the god Saturn, held on the 17th of December on the Julian calendar and later expanded with festivities throughout the 23rd of December. The holiday was celebrated with a sacrifice at the Temple of Saturn in the Roman Forum, and a public banquet followed by private gift-giving, continual partying, and a carnival-like atmosphere that overturned Roman social norms. Gambling was permitted, and the masters provided provided table service to their slaves, as it was a time for both liberty and for time for liberty for both slaves and freedmen alike.
Cool.
So it's just like an overall like we're all gonna stop being dicks to each other and have a great time.
Awesome. I
Get
love it.
drunk. And a lot of times
Sounds like my kind of festival. My kind of celebration.
a lot of times the gifts that were exchanged were like usually like gag gifts. So like they were like
amazing.
funny.
Okay.
And there were like other like ones that obviously weren't gag gifts, and like they're usually like little figurines made of wax or pottery, and they're known as sigillaria. And it has been described by the poet Catullus as the best of days. So it's just like really like warm, like we're having a good time.
That's so cool. I love that.
There is a Greek holiday that is the equivalent, because as we know, Roman and Greeks are very well tied together in their mythologies and histories. And that day,
didn't actually know
oh, right, I
You are the
sometimes forget.
that. You're a huge mythology nerd.
Anyway, so for those of you who don't know, the equivalent to Saturn in Saturn is the Roman god. Kronos is the Greek god.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
technically they're Titans, but I'm not going to get into that.
We'll get into that in a different episode.
So the equivalent Greek holiday is called Cronia. And Saturnalia may have been influenced by some other customs associated with later celebrations in Western Europe occurring in midwinter, particularly the traditions associated with Christmas. So this is where like we start blending things in, because Christianity started to come about in Rome at a very specific point in history, and things got kind of mixed together.
Gotcha.
But you know, you have the idea of like the feast is like bringing in like holy energy and stuff, because you were feeding the mass.
Oh.
And in particular, the historical Western European Christmas custom of electing a Lord of Misrule may have its roots in Saturnalia celebrations. So there is, like, during Saturnalia, there is an elected king almost.
Oh.
And he is the king of Saturnalia for those days. So he oversees and kind of just... He's basically the host of the party. Like, the big, like, yeah, let's go.
I dig it. That's really cool.
Can you tell I haven't been to many parties?
Yeah, let's go.
The revelries of Saturnalia were supposed to reflect the conditions of the lost mythical age. Why did I do Inspector Gadget right there? And also, fun little thing, because a big part of Saturnalia is role reversal, which is why you have the owners of the slaves serving the slaves. Fun little thing: men would dress as women, and women would dress as men, if they wanted to.
Can we bring that back? That sounds
I
great.
already do that all day.
I mean, they're not wrong. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just like when you really get into looking at the idea of Saturnalia and how it was celebrated, you can see a lot of the similarities that that carries over and that may have inspired certain traditions for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
The popularity of Saturnalia continued into the 3rd and 4th centuries AD as the Roman Empire came under Christian rule. Many of its customs were recast into, or at least influenced into, the seasonal celebrations surrounding Christmas and the New Year. So, and that's the point I was making at the very beginning of the episode, where sometimes, and it happens to all holidays, it can be reversed anyway. Obviously, as we grow as a world and become more connected, there's going to be things that we adapt for different things from different cultures.
Yeah.
And that's only natural. Back then, the world was still considerably small in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So big. Wrong word. It was considerably wider, so it was kind of harder to do, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I like that to this day, Christmas does still technically be celebrated in the way that Saturnalia does. Because, I don't know if y'all ever have, done, White Elephant.
Yeah.
And you know how, there's always a little funky, funny little gift sometimes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just fun little things like that.
Like my jug on a jug. That's how I got that from last year.
I did not know you only had that for a year.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on a year of your jug on a jug.
Yeah, we're coming up with a year on my jug on a jug.
Nice.
Now I'm going to have to post that on social so people have context for the jug on the jug.
I think the context is there, but if you want to.
I don't know.
Don't explain it.
My jug might get censored. Which one? You'll never know.
So, yeah, that's my little spiel on Saturnalia, which
I love that.
Also goes into, because I'm not really sure if Saturnalia is celebrated in the same capacity as Yule is nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, there is a little bit of carryover, and the solstice, celebrated. The solstice is I don't know. The way I kind of look at it is that Christmas is an amalgamation of Saturnalia, the solstice, and Yule.
Kind of, yeah.
Because they are separate holidays.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make that very clear. They are all their own unique thing with different things going on.
Yeah.
But there's just bits and pieces.
Christmas is very much I like this out of that one, I like this out of this one, I like those out of that one. We're going to take all of those bits and pieces and make our own.
They're the build your own lint boxes you can get at the lint store.
Build your own holiday. Pick a god.
Build a bear.
Build a bear of holidays.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll bring in some greenery, some gaggery, and we're going to eat a lot.
What's gaggery?
Gaggery? Like foolishness.
Ah. Okay. Yes. Gag is in joke. Gotcha. Okay.
It might not be a word.
No, it makes sense. My brain just immediately went to Question mark? Sorry.
Not in my Christian holiday. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. That's my bad.
You know what holiday I meant to look into more and never did? Krampus. I was in Austria when they started doing some, like, although I was in there in the summer. Why was it practice of oh, okay, cool. So I was in Austria and I remember them talking about Krampus, but it was like in the summer. So I think they were having like a Christmas in July kind of thing going on, but it was like Krampus in July.
Do we want to talk about Krampus for a minute?
I love Krampus. Like, I love the idea, like, growing up with like the jolly fat Saint Nick, you know, giving him his milk and cookies. Being the spooky lover bitch that I am now, I love the idea of that fat jolly man actually being a goat-legged, goat-horned, tall, cryptid-esque fucker. Love it. I love that fact.
I love the fact that Krampus does give out gifts. He does.
Usually not good ones, though, right?
I mean, depends. But
Depends on how you look at it.
he gives out gifts to good children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Santa. But instead of, you know, just getting a lump of coal,
Mm-hmm.
you get thrown in his sack and essentially are stolen away and potentially eaten or, you know, tortured. That's what happens to naughty children.
I love Krampus. I wish I could. Nope, I'm not going to finish that sentence. I wish more children got sacrificed to Krampus. As someone who, never mind. No, you know what? I'm gonna say it. As someone,
Say it with your mouth.
say it with your mouth. As someone who has worked with many a different people's children, there are some children I would toss in Krampus's sack so fast. I love the look of horror you're giving me right now. But some people's children, man, let me tell you, if you can't teach your kid to not go into the room where the toilet is and still pop a squat and shit in the middle of the floor, like, you're halfway there, kid. Why can't you just sit your ass on the toilet and shit there instead? That is completely off topic, and I'm so sorry. But toss that kid in Krampus's sack so fast.
I would like to point out that Krampus is actually like very much like celebrated as like a different alternative to Santa in different northern countries.
Yeah.
So like, and
It is a very, like, obviously, like I said, Austria was celebrating it, so it is a more European,
yeah, like
German, that
Yeah.
area kind
Like,
of celebrated.
you know, like Finland. Well, maybe not Finland, but like
Switzerland and stuff.
Switzerland,
I think, right?
like
Netherlands and all that.
Sweden, you know.
Sweden.
The also like I have a little fact about the 12 days of Christmas.
Ooh, tell me.
So, in some northern countries, the 12 days of Christmas, you are visited one a day by little dwarves,
I
and
love
they
that.
leave a gift in your boot. And isn't that interesting because of the whole stockings thing for Christmas? But anyway,
Oh.
it is a common Christmas tradition nowadays for people who kind of live in like those countries, from my understanding,
Right.
that do the 12 days of the dwarves, and each day they bring you something else, and like there's like this whole interesting story behind it.
Oh.
I cannot remember it off the top of my head, but I will provide a resource in the sense of on YouTube. There is a guy called John Solo, and he did a video on this last year, actually.
Oh.
And if you just like search up John Solo 12 Days of Christmas, which I will show you after,
Yeah.
because I found it interesting.
Look it up. Let's do it.
He goes into like the history of it, and it's really interesting. So, you know, he also did a video on Krampus.
Ooh.
Anyway.
I need to self-teach myself more about Krampus, or also like
I
people
can
tagging
show
me
you
some
the
shit.
Krampus episode too.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So, Emily, you want to say anything?
Well, Christmas is cool, but there's also other really cool holidays out there. Well,
You're not gonna look in that little book you got in front of you at all.
I do have a little book. I have a little. It is called Practical Magic: A Beginner's Guide to Crystals, Horoscopes, Psychics, and Spells. It is by Nikki Vandekar. We're gonna go with that.
That sounds right.
This was a book that was lent to me by one of our friends when we were doing some learning. And it's a good little like starter's guide, so it does have a little bit on Yule in here. So basically it just says that like the day when the darkest half of the year relinquishes its power and the lightest half falls on the winter solstice. So it's just talking about how Yule the thing that I thought was cool was it has a part over here with like different colors for celebrating. So like there's red, green, gold, and silver are like the colors of Yule. Different stones that are good for that day, which is ruby, garnet, emerald, and diamond. Different herbs are bayberry, evergreen, milk thistle, holly, and mistletoe. And it has a little different thing in here on like little ways to celebrate it. So learn some traditional wassails, like the holy and the ivory, the Endress Night, the Gloucestershire wassail over here. Wassail?
I can't say the first one.
Wassail? Yeah. So they just sound like little ditties and sing them to nearby trees and fields. Decorate your home with mistletoe, holly, and ivory. Drink a lot of cider. Down with that one. It's tradition, baby.
Traditions.
And obviously
traditions.
make some form of a Yule log, like setting candles in a log base and lighting them for 12 nights. So that's a cute way, you know, if you're like myself or even Kira, where you're in an apartment and don't really have the ability to light an entire Yule log, you can just light the candles and light them for 12 nights.
I'll just go in my backyard and I'm gonna make a little fire pit.
Must be nice to have a backyard.
I know. It's the one perk of living in a bachelor apartment.
Yeah. But yeah, then it basically just goes into talking about, you know, from this day onward, the days grow longer. The Sun King has been reborn. This is a day of uncomplicated celebration. The winter is waning, and it's time to party. Many of the things we now associate with Christmas stem from Yule. Look at that. Even the book's calling it out. Including Christmas trees, the Yule log, and wassailing, i.e. singing Christmas carols. Of course, these traditions were all slightly different during Yule celebrations. An evergreen tree was never cut down. It was treasured for its immortality, and burrows of the evergreen would be brought inside for festivities. The Yule log wasn't just a piece of decoration. It was taken very seriously. You couldn't buy a Yule log, It needed to be given as a gift from a neighbor or a family member, or harvested yourself. The log was traditionally made of ash, and it was big. That's italicized. So it was big. Once it was placed in the fire, the Yule log was decorated with evergreens, holly, and ivy, doused with cider or ale, apples being symbols of the sun, and dusted with flour, representing accomplishment, light, and life, before being set ablaze by a piece of last year's log, which would have been carefully set aside for just this purpose. This log would be kept burning for 12 days, the 12 days of Christmas. Yeah, so that just kind of summarizes everything you said. Yeah, for the most part.
I'm glad what I was saying was not out of my ass. Like I said, I know certain things. Sometimes they're right.
Yeah, it's just really cool to like go outside of your own traditions and learn about not even just different ones, but also like where the traditions that you grew up doing, where they come from.
Exactly. And the whole idea of just sometimes Christmas is a little bit more gothic than you think, you know?
Oh God, we had the best gothic Christmas today.
We did.
And I look forward to continuing to decorate my apartment because I just started today. And it's going to be a little gothic Christmas in here because I still have a lot of Halloween decorations up that I'm just going to throw Santa hats on all my bats.
I was gonna say, you have a bat on your wall that says Halloween.
We're just gonna cover him up with a Merry Christmas.
No.
Not cover him completely, but just stick a little and Merry Christmas on there.
Can I get a little sticky note and in chicken scratch and just
For the love of God, please do that immediately as we're done this recording.
I'm gonna take a picture of it and put it on Twitter.
Please do. That being said, we're a little shorter than we are usually, but I don't really have anything else to say because I'm a piece of shit and didn't do any research. But Krampus is cool as shit. There are a lot of other holiday customs out there that are cool as shit. And I challenge everybody to take a look outside of your own traditions and see what other ones are out there you might like starting. Actually, like my dumb Sound of Music and rum, what's a family tradition you have around Christmas, Kira?
Oh, God. Well, Christmas is interesting at my my parents' place. So first off, we start decorating in November, or early November, because my mom turns our entire house into Santa's workshop, which I will get her to send me a picture because she's almost done decorating. So I will show you what it looks like.
You started in November and she's not done yet? The look of horror you just gave me. Okay, all right, yeah, okay.
And then secondly, because usually we like to, during the Christmas season, make sure that everyone
we like sorry.
we like to make sure that everyone has received something in a sense. So we spent, growing up, I helped a lot. I haven't been able to help much in the past couple years, but we would make up massive sweet trays for friends and family, and we would so cute. There's 8 different types of squares, tarts, cookies, the whole shebang, molasses cookies, sugar cookies, different breads, and we would give them out.
That's so sweet.
And then everyone comes over Christmas Day, and my mom, bless her heart, cooks for 28 people.
Oh my sweet Lord of Jesus.
And
here my family is just sitting on our ass watching movies and drinking rum.
The week of leading up to Christmas, there's a lot of baking, a lot of just intensity.
I imagine, yeah.
And
you got a whole workshop. Your mother's home is Santa's workshop.
Yeah, and Christmas dinner, because we want to make sure that everyone has something that they're able to eat. Turkey, ham, lasagna, plus fixings.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that.
Because the philosophy is no one should have to be alone on Christmas. So friends of the family come over.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I love your family. That's adorable. That is so, small town shit, too. That's just,
And we keep the Christmas tree up until January 6th to respect old Christmas, because it was a thing that my mom grew up with because Grampy used to celebrate it.
What's old Christmas?
It's on the old calendar before the Julian. That is when the date of Christmas actually was, and it's changed.
Oh.
But because of when it the Julian calendar added in some days kind of thing, so it got shifted around, which is why Christmas is now in December.
Oh.
But it's as just a thing that they've always grown up with, kind of thing. And obviously, the Julian calendar's been, around for a long time, but it's just been a thing that we celebrate. We make sure that we keep the tree up until at least the 6th of January.
I love that. That is so cool. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I asked you for your traditions, because that was just fucking wholesome as shit, and I love it.
I like yours.
Mine is very, now, mind you, my family, my father's side of the family, anyway, they're all Newfoundlanders. So, if we were still in Newfoundland, for those of you that don't know Newfoundland, it's a wonderful place. One of their very common... Very cold, can be, yes. But one of their very common traditions is on Christmas Eve, you go mummering. Do you not know what mummering is?
I feel like I know what mummering is, but I'm gonna need an explanation.
Mummering is like a holiday version of Halloween. So like they get all dressed up in
Oh.
these goofy costumes. A lot of the times it would be like men dressing like women, women dressing like men, and they basically go door to door caroling and things like that.
Again, Saturnalia.
Yeah.
What did I just talk about?
Yeah, the newbies got it right, man. They do that. Like so like my dad used to go mummering all the time when he was younger. Obviously we don't do it here in Nova Scotia because people would be like, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, they wear wild, outlandish outfits, like usually have like buckets and shit on their heads, and like they just dress up in like these wild outfits. But yeah, so mummering is usually something that like my Newfoundland side of the family would do. But yeah, since being at home, but my dad is less so in the fact of we don't do a whole lot of baking and everything, but like the entire of my family that is still around in Nova Scotia. We usually all gather at my dad's place for Christmas. So, like, my mom comes down and my aunt will come down and things like that. So, dad is, like, my brother has had friends that, like, couldn't make it home for the holidays. So, like, they've come down and come with us for Christmas and stuff, too. So, I don't want to say to a lesser degree because, you know, everything's the same. But we are very much, like, we don't want anybody to be alone during Christmas or during the holidays and that kind of stuff. So, we've had many people come and go through our house during Christmas, which I do think, no matter what you celebrate, I do think the basis of all of it should be spending time together and like seeing each other. And
Yeah. Like, the reason for the season is to come together and celebrate the fact that not only have you survived another year and experienced so many good things, and maybe not so good things, but you can come together and forget your worries for a second
Mm-hmm.
and just be at peace
Mhm.
and know that everyone that you love is safe and sound
Mm-hmm.
and just a nice little
It's an excuse to not have to go to work and to have everybody be together, and it is one of those things where like every year now I'll ask like my dad what he wants for Christmas, and he's just like, I just want everybody to come home and hang out and be together.
my mom always asks for more Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
More Christmas decorations.
Yeah, that's adorable. And it's like yeah, so it's just it's been one of those kind of funny things that like, well, especially now with myself, I'm the baby of the family, so with my own self being old enough that if I want something I can just go out and buy it kind of thing. Christmas has very much shifted away from being about the presents, as it very much like, to nobody's fault. As a kid, you know, you get your gifts from Santa, and that's the big part of Christmas.
Mm.
It very much has turned into like, even with our friend group and stuff, as much as I'm very excited about the little things that I've gotten everybody, I'm just excited for all of us to get together and just have a little celebration and you know, do our own thing. And that's very much been the biggest thing about the holidays for me lately, is just it's nice to just have the time off work for everyone to get together. And because, you know, also winter sucks,
It does.
so like to have that little bit of
Seasonal
cheer.
depression.
Seasonal depression is real, my dude. So it is nice to have that little get together, even like friends wise. Like, we're gonna plan a little bit of thing, and another group of our friends is having a holiday party in a few weeks, and like it'll be amazing to go over and see all of them. Like, it's a busy time of the year, but it's also very exciting time of the year.
It is.
I love it.
Going back like a little bit, what was the age that you found out that Santa wasn't real?
Oh, buddy, I was like 4.
That's so sad.
But I also like, maybe I wasn't 4. No, maybe I was a little bit older. 5 or 6 maybe. But I have a horrible fucking memory, so I don't remember for sure. I could find it from my mother. But you want to know how I found out Santa wasn't real?
How?
So I am a child of divorced parents. So we used to have 2 Christmases. So like one year, until we were like older, and then Dad just started inviting Mom over, and now we all have Christmas together, which is amazing.
Which is really sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So like we would do, one year we would do Christmas Eve, Christmas morning at Mom's, and then that afternoon we'd go over to Dad's. He'd have dinner, and then we'd do Christmas all over again. Like that night we go to sleep, Boxing Day morning we'd wake up and have Christmas at Dad's.
Okay.
Which was cool, but you know, as a kid, you're like, I get 2 days of gifts? Hell yeah. But now I just get the same amount of gifts, but in one day, and I get to drink with everybody at once. Anyway, so we were at my mom's one year for Christmas, and she usually would try to get us, like, let my brother open a few gifts, let me open a few gifts, so that, you know, she had the chance to see us open our gifts. So I was blazing through my gifts one year, and she was like, can you just chill for a minute and let your brother open some? So I was like, okay, fine. And I'm sitting there, and I have a gift from Mom to me and from Santa to me, and I go, Santa and Mom's handwriting looks real similar. And, like, I don't remember the conversation. Like, I think at this point, like, I was old enough to the fact where, like, a few of my friends were already told that Santa wasn't real. So it's, you know, as it always was as a kid, like, the big debate in school around Christmas time. So I think I kind of already had the inkling. And I don't remember it being, like, this traumatic realization that Santa wasn't real. But yeah, I was kind of in that moment. I was like, Mom, what's going on here? And, like, my brother is 3 years older than me. So, like, he was old enough to have already known that Santa wasn't real. So it was just kind of like
Santa's real in your heart.
right. And to me, that
is true.
That is true, right?
We're
like,
all Santa.
We're all
Santa lives in you.
Santa lives in you too. Oh God. But yeah, so it wasn't anything like traumatic. What about you?
You see, I wouldn't say it was like even traumatic, cause so obviously, like, I was like, you know, it's like second grade, like, people like started like talking about like, oh yeah, Santa isn't real. I'm like, okay. Plus, Chicky grew up not celebrating Christmas.
Oh, true. Yeah.
For various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so like, just like in general, I was like, okay, but like, you know, me being the blissful naivete that I am, I was like, yeah, he's real, sure, but like, you know, like, it's like the little bit of doubt, and just went on for like years, and I'm like like my own thing. I'm like 10, and I'm like, okay, yeah, he's real. Quotation marks. My mom never actually,
like, still to this day.
no, like eventually by the time like I was like 15, I was like, open your present from Santa, and I'm like,
oh, I'm 26 years old and I still have at least one gift from Santa.
Oh yeah, no, I still have gifts from Santa as well, but like, she, as I like unwrapped it, and then she said, yeah, I wasn't sure if you were gonna like it or not. I'm like,
Santa.
I'm like I knew that he wasn't real, but you're ruining the illusion.
My immersion. Mom, you ruined my Christmas immersion.
Mom, I love you, but if you're gonna write it's from Santa, at least pretend it's from Santa.
Oh yeah, my mom would full on try to play that, even like when I knew, like, it'd be like, oh, you know, Santa wasn't sure. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll take it back to Old Navy, thank you. I'll just exchange sizes, but thank you, Santa. She tried, God love her.
And like with like the whole like gift thing, because I know like you said that like you would have to like trade off with like your brother and like do like a couple and couple. No, we went around in a circle. So
oh yeah.
So you get, because we have Santa bags, which are like little gifts, and then like you have like your actual like gift under the tree kind of thing.
Yeah, we would do like stockings. We'd have stocking stuffers, so everyone kind of opens their stockings at a time, and then you know we'd kind of go around the circle.
Yeah. So, but like this like also like applies for under the tree.
Oh, okay.
So we all go around, and we have to guess what it could be before.
I would hate that so much.
It's interesting.
I mean, like, it's cute, but also
I make little jokes about it.
No, you know what? I'm gonna make you guess my gift from you before you open it.
You know I only have to guess once, right? It's not like I have to guess until I get it right.
I know.
Okay.
But I'm gonna make you. I know you think you know what it is, but I'm gonna make you guess, just so I can record how wrong you are. You can make me guess, but I also have no sweet fucking clue what you got me.
Yeah,
so.
and I can thoroughly say that you are not going to be able to guess
I'm
it.
also going to warn you, you're not allowed to shake the box when I give it to you. It could give it away.
Emily,
It could be a little fragile, and it could give it away. So just don't shake the box when I give it to you.
Emily, you're giving an accident-prone person something potentially breakable. I want you to think about that.
It's
for a
not
minute.
like ridiculously breakable, but just don't like huck it at a fucking wall after I give it to you.
Now, in what fucking world am I gonna open a gift and be like, huh, neat, yacht?
Well, Babs might yuck one of her gifts I gave her when I give it to her, so but that's kind of the purpose of giving it to her. So it's a yuckable gift.
Honestly, I think she's gonna yuck Bab's gift at the wall.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Like it'll be it's a good.
It's gonna get punched
Yeah,
across the room.
It's gonna be a good it's a good thing. Like when we say like it's getting yucked against the wall,
in a very excited way.
yes, because for some reason
We don't know.
we don't experience excitement in a normal way.
No.
We have the urge to punch.
Punch and yuck.
But the yeet is strong.
Yes. Yeetus. Yes. But anyway, I'm placing my own bet that you and I are not going to be able to stop driving each other nuts about our gifts for each other, that we're going to have to be like, all right, friends, we love you, but Kira and I are exchanging gifts early because we can't.
You see, I like the fact that not only does Lainey and Jen...
Oh! Oh! Y'all, it wasn't me. I didn't fuck up first. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Y'all, I'm on cloud nine right now. Woo! Although, to be fair, Jenna did tell me, like, months ago that she's fine with us using her actual name in the podcast.
Yeah, and so did Lainey.
All right, fuckers, we've now discovered 2 names. And it wasn't me. Y'all, fuck, it wasn't me. I didn't do it.
forgot.
She caught me on the counter. It wasn't me. Even caught me on the sofa. It wasn't me.
I forgot that we were recording for a second.
Y'all, I'm so happy.
I was...
Merry fucking Christmas to me. It wasn't me that did it.
Well, as an explanation now...
Finish that thought. Fuck it up. Let's go.
First off, Babs is
Lainey.
Lainey and Chicky is Jenna.
Also, Queenie is Danny. We'll just throw that out there, too.
Yeah, sure, why not?
We'll leave Eve as Eve, but
We're gonna leave Dorito Jones.
we'll let him introduce himself when he comes on the podcast someday.
Alright.
Cool.
Anyway. I am sorry. This is the first time I have ever broken an NDA.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yes. To be fair, they didn't sign shit.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't break anything.
Yeah, we were doing that out of our own felt necessity for it. Oh, y'all, I'm so fucking happy it wasn't me. You can give me the fingers as many times as you want. I've won. I win. It's me. Ugh. Okay.
Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. Anyway.
Finish your thought. They know my gift.
Yeah, they know it. And not only have they freaked out accordingly, they have hyped me up so much about it.
Lainey saw yours today,
I know.
and she freaked out as well. Also, I'm going to throw Lainey under the bus slightly. I know you bought me something today. I don't know exactly what it was, because she didn't do the best at being a distraction.
Lady!
To be fair, though, I was like, I went to go back towards somewhere, and Lainey's like, yeah, but how about over here? And I was like, are you being a distraction right now? And she's like, yeah. I was
Lady,
like,
I still love you.
I mean, I couldn't tell what booth you were, like, I didn't see what booth you were at or anything. She was just like, let's not go back that way. I was like, okay.
You did an amazing job, sweetie.
They did lovely. They did a wonderful job.
I love you for doing it.
I'm also very much in the vein of, like, if I just need to be distracted, just be like, hey, you need to not go over here for a minute, and I'll be like, okay.
Well, I'm glad at least you didn't see what booth it was at.
No, I saw you, like, come down the aisle after you were done, but that was about it. I didn't peg what booth you came from, so.
I mean, to be fair, I am very easy to spot in a crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, I'm so fucking
Take
happy.
it how you want.
I'm so fucking happy. On that note, folks, thanks for listening to us today. We were a fucking hot mess.
At least I made it a couple episodes instead of the first 2 minutes of the.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye!
Bye! Bye! Bye! I genuinely forgot that we were talking in the podcast.
I mean, hey, that's the vibe we want. Everybody's just chilling. Hey y'all, we just wanted to pop back in here at the end of the episode and thank you again for listening and let you know where you can find us.
You can find me, Kira, on all social platforms under the name Fish Antlers. I also have an online store. Maybe check it out. It's also called Fish Antlers.
And you can find me, Emily, on all social media platforms under Lil Halfling for my personal account, or Seymour Snaps for some photography stuff that is mentioned in quite a few of our episodes. But it's fun to do.
For more Gremlins by Nature, we are on all socials at Gremlins by Nature. We'd love to hear from you guys, so tag us or hashtag the GBN pod or Gremlins by Nature and let us know what you want to hear us talk about.
Or if you have any additional stories or information on things we've already talked about, we want to hear about that too.
You can listen to our episodes every second Friday, anywhere you can listen to podcasts. And if you can't find us where you normally listen, let us know and we'll add ourselves there.
Thanks all. Bye.